Hi, I'm Rachel, and we're the cooking family. This is
Abigail and
Miriam.
Hannah. Lydia.
And we have some little girls coming with us today. We're gonna make some collards, southern collard greens. And
Let's get
welcome to our
started.
kitchen. So, collard greens can sometimes get a bad rap about being bitter or gross. But the way we make it, if you make it right and you add the right ingredients, it will taste absolutely delicious.
Today we are making collard greens, southern collard greens. And so this is really fun to make because little kids can help rip up the veggies, the collards, and they can pour the ingredients in, and it's just really fun for them to do. And so our ingredients today are collards and bacon grease and an onion and apple cider vinegar and magic flavor dust. So let's get started. Oh, magic flavor dust is a concoction of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And so it's really easy because you don't have to go and you don't have to grab garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper every time you need that. You can just grab the one container and you're good to go.
So I think we're ready to get started. Yep. Abigail is going to chop an onion, but first I'm going to turn the Instant Pot on saute. And this machine will just turn on in about 10 seconds. So this is about 3 tablespoons of bacon grease that I'm just gonna dump in here to get started heating up. And you can use olive oil or even butter if you're out of bacon grease, but this is really our favorite way to make it. So that's gonna start heating up, and Abigail here is gonna show us how to chop an onion.
Alrighty, so we have our cut glove and of course our onion and our knife. So if you look on an onion, you have 2 ends. You have a stem end and a root end. Now usually the root end has a bunch of hairs sticking out of them, and I just gather them all up and pinch them off and put them aside because you do not want those hairs in your food. So next, take off any loose papers, and we're going to cut off the stem end just like that. And now you have a flat surface so your onion doesn't roll around when you're trying to cut it. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to just chop this right down the middle and take off the peel layer right here. And if it's really hard, you can just go to the next layer and it will be fine. And so now what we're gonna do is with the blade end toward the root end, not going super far in, otherwise you'll get a bunch of loose pieces. You will go all the way across our onion, and then we will go along the other direction in the even dices all the way through to the other side. And that is how you dice an onion.
Okay, and I'll take a handful of this and we'll get it sauteing. I love the sound that makes. Let me grab a spoon and I'll stir that up. And that won't get very far along before Abigail can throw in the rest of it. We are going to tear up our collards instead of slicing them. And I'm gonna show you how, and then I'll have the little girls help me. So all you have to do, is tear the leaves off of the ribs. Probably by the time it gets up here, it's fine. And then I just tear it up a little bit smaller than that. They're nice big pieces. They cook down a lot, so it's fine. So now I'll give each of you one to do. You can show everybody.
Good job, Lydia.
Here you go. And here you go. You can do that one. And we have already washed all of these, and now we're just tearing them up.
And these are fresh from our garden.
Yes.
So
this is about 2 pounds of collards, or about 4 bunches is probably about a good comparison. So these are all looking great. Good job,
good job. Many hands make light work. That was pretty fast. Good job.
Yes, we already did most of them. And I'll grab this, take it out of the way.
Okay, so now we will take this.
Wait, we're not ready to put it in.
Oh, okay.
I'll just check on the
Sorry.
onions here. These are looking pretty good. They don't need to get caramelized or anything. They just need to get nice and sauteed. Next, we're going to let the collards wilt a little so that they'll all fit really well. You can probably, these are probably actually pretty well done by now. So Abigail is going to bring over the pot of collards, the bowl of collards, and put in about half of them. I'm going to take this lid just out of the way so that it's not all over the place. So the reason that we're doing this is because collards are big and fluffy. And so it can be hard to fit them all in and stir all the ingredients together. So it's still on the saute function, so Abigail's putting in about half of them. That's probably good. Then we're going to try and stir them up, and I'm actually going to let them cook for a little bit first.
Do we put the lid on or just leave it off?
No, we're going to leave the lid off.
Awesome.
And this saute function turned off, so I just turned it back on. We're going to let them wilt and turn bright green before we take them out and add the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this so that it can cook in its own moisture for a little bit. It looks like we're putting in a lot of collards, and it is a large volume, but they cook down so much when they get hot and some of the moisture comes out that really what we're putting in is going to be just enough to feed us. We're not going to have any leftovers. And Abigail, we can clean up a little bit.
Yes, okay.
We're going to put in a splash of apple cider vinegar to cut the bitterness a little. Oh yes, y'all can go now. Thank y'all so much. Say bye.
Bye.
So we're gonna put in about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to this whole big thing, and that will just help cut the bitterness a little bit. And then, will you grab the ham?
Sure.
We have some diced ham thawing over there, and if you have frozen meat that you need to put in your Instant Pot, that's fine. We put frozen stuff in all the time, and it just takes a little longer to come up to pressure, and generally it's great. And this is already cooked, so we don't have to worry about it getting to the right temperature.
And ham is also an ingredient.
Yes, ham is an ingredient in this. And if you don't have ham, you can use bacon. We like to use about 1 cup of crumbled bacon. We buy it in bags from the store, from Sam's and Costco. But you can make your own if you want, if you don't have it. Ham really helps with the bitterness of greens like collards. It really cuts that twang.
And just a tip here,
I'm
1
gonna go ahead and
cup
check on
of
this.
crumbled bacon is about a pound of uncooked bacon.
Yes, that's true. So you can already see how much this has cooked down.
I go ahead and add
you
the
can
others.
put in the rest. Abigail's just gonna put these all in. Just stick the lid on for a few minutes, and it will all come up to pressure and just cook and be great. So then we're gonna add about a cup of water to it because always whenever you cook in an Instant Pot, you have to have at least, whenever you pressure cook, you have to have at least 1 cup of liquid. That can be in the form of chicken broth or water. Sometimes we'll put salsa in, or even like crushed tomatoes count as liquid. Just some kind of sort of liquid. Usually we use water, especially with this sort of thing. And
We should add the ham.
yeah, we can add the ham soon. I can go ahead and stir this again. Could you grab me some tongs? Tongs are going to be easier to stir this with because it's so fluffy and it's still trying to cook down. I want to stir
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that is looking awesome.
Spilling all over the place. So I'm just stirring this and getting it all up to the surface, and it's wilting so that it will fit. I think we're about good now.
Yeah.
It's all fitting well. Sometimes if we don't have time, we'll just pack it all in and it will cook down and it's all fine. This is about a pound of cooked ham. So we're just gonna put that in and stir it up, and I'm gonna put in about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar.
Did you already add the magic flavor
a
dust?
splash? I did not.
Okay. So we'll add probably about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of magic flavor. And let's see. Pretty close.
That looks about good.
Awesome.
And then I'll just pour this water in, 1 cup right there. And I'll even put in a little bit more salt, just about a 1/4 teaspoon. We can taste it after it's finished cooking.
And you
don't
can always
want-
salt at the
Yes.
table.
Ham is also plenty salty, so just stirring that all up, and then we'll turn it on to cook. So we are going to cook this at high pressure for 3 minutes and then let it natural release for 2 minutes. So that's a total of 5 minutes of cook time. So I'm just going to jiggle that around until it closes and cancel to turn off the saute. I will just do pressure cook and then turn it down on this model. This is how you do it, to 3 minutes. And then we'll just let it start, and then we'll wait till it says low for 2 minutes. And then up here, I'm gonna put it on, yes, then you have to wait till it turns on, and then make sure it's on sealing. Some models you have to turn it, and some models do it automatically. For this one, you have to manually do it.
So, one quick question. Is there a difference from pressure cooking it for 5 minutes and immediately taking it down for quick releasing it, or can you?
I think it's a little more, yes, I think you can.
Okay.
I think that natural release is a little bit more gentle, not by much. It's pretty much the same as cooking time, but that's just how we decided to do it for this. And we'll get back with you whenever it's done. Okay, so our collards finished cooking and they released for the 2 minutes, and then we have quick released them, and now we wanted to show you what they looked like. So just gonna open her up. That's how they look.
That is beautiful.
Yes, and yes, we'll stir them up. And you can see that delicious pot liquor in the bottom. That's one of my favorite parts of it, actually, is that juice. And then I'll serve some up and we can give it a taste. Taste it for salt and pepper. Red pepper or Tabasco sauce is a great thing to add at the table if you have kids who might not enjoy that very much. So we'll just take a nice forkful, let it cool off. That's yummy. That's yummy. Well, there you have it. Collard greens in the Instant Pot. Thanks for watching. And you can subscribe, like us. You can go to our Facebook page. You could go to thecookingfamily.com for more recipes like this. And we'll see you next time. And don't forget, your family can cook and enjoy great meals together. Bye.